And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Nations 2 as a Red Mars. For some indication, we have successfully kept the Martian Social Republic stable. We almost had an aristocratic revolt, but we were able to get that under control. We had a little bit of coding issues, I think, in the last one as well. But hopefully we don't have too much of that going forward. I worked it out that comes from zooming out, so I'm going to have to play pretty close to planet level here to try to avoid having coding issues. And at this point, I think we can attempt to try to win diplomatically / economic growth, and not do too much military conquest. I think the military conquest will cause a bunch of encoding issues, so I've got to zoom out to do that sort of stuff. Right now, the only alliance with more victory progress than us is the India Sphere, so we got to try to outscale them. Prestige comes from military and economic. We're going to try to sort of explode and rapidly raise our economic here. Although we just set up some stuff for construction, so let's unpause and let some time pass. We're going to get stability up a little bit more, and then I'm going to start trying to colonize. Once again, I'm at war. This is, I suppose, the problem with having friends, is friends get into wars. Oh, I'm at the point where I can integrate Mozambique. Mozambique apparently shrank. They're no longer in the big player club, so become one with the Martian Socialist Republic. And still in the big club. They're faction leaders, so they're not going to be up. We can do the same with the American Revolutionary Front. Become one with the Martian Social Republic. And then we're improving relations with you, and you, and you. You're almost there. Almost there. Don't need to bring them into the coalition if we don't need to. I'm less interested in bringing them the world economic convergence and more into the United Revolutionary Front. Let's unpause and get this to update. Oh, that is updated. Okay. Well, the Red Lunar Army is not particularly happy. Although, I should be able to get them happy enough. Let's build a spy network on them. Same thing with Hawaii. And we let some time pass. So I'm trying to get back up to 40 stability before I start sending out new colonies. Next, culture choice. So, I just finished up urban files. The question here is, am I going to keep utopianism and easygoing? So, utopianism reduces reform cost at the cost of development equilibrium. Maybe we wouldn't want that debuff. Region modifier, clergy is more powerful. The clergy haven't been too grumpy. Where are they? Where are the clergy? Oh, that's the old name for the ideologues, I think. Is that the old name for the ideologues? Yeah, I think that's the old name for the ideologues. Yep, that's the old name. So some places will show up as ideologues because we're Marxist. Fair enough. Okay, so in which case I'm not as opposed to them. Like, the clergy, we're like an atheist Marxist society, right? No, it's the ideologues for us. Okay. So that's one option. Whoops. Might as well let people into these. And then along the way we get unity, reform cost reduction, rural faction would get happier, unit morale, prestige, project upkeep, rural political power. Okay. We'd be more interested if that also added some happiness on the clergy. Unity, simulation, I suppose if I am going to try to assimilate other cultures, we probably want easygoing. Faction loyalty. Oh, just generic faction loyalty. That's tempting. Although if we go all the way down, we're taking a tax-based hit. Although that's tax-based, we're already at the point where the resources are more than the taxes. So maybe we accept that. Opinion. That might affect us. Easygoing, more diplomatic capacity will, pop growth, 15%. Admin, again, at the cost of development equilibrium, which we're not really that fond of. Middle class power. Or we can save up and take a look at the other traits. Let's save up and take a look at the other traits. Let some time pass so we can do that. Oh, I can be inviting more people, or trying to invite more people to the United Revolutionary Front. -11, -11. No. Okay, so I can't, well, maybe I can. They'd just be pretty far down at this point, so it's going to be like -11 and such. Okay. To be fair, when I think this fills up, we get to hit Fertilize Union and integrate all the people who are in here. If my understanding of it is correct. It might not be correct. Probably want to get up to curry favors and political integration, or political infiltration, yeah, on that thing. And then we got that vote going, yeah. I'm waiting for the stability here to get up to 40. We're not necessarily as stable as I'd like to be. No, currently working on interplanetary culture, which I think is worth doing, but it's a random culture tech in the science tree. Oh, we're up to 20 prestige, 20% of all prestige, so that's good. I think my project's completed. Yeah, the project's a bit. So increase power plant there. We hop over to Castile. Buff you for extra food. I think demos for the moment is capped out till I get more extraction. The region called? I thought it was demos. That was my... Yeah, okay. So Phobos. Yeah, Phobos is capped out until we get the next resource extractor, or we get something else that affects it. Manufacturing is now asteroid belt E. So, asteroid belt E will grab mass production. Electronics is asteroid belt C. So we'll grab digital assembly. And commerce is out at... Is it the Jovians? I think that was the Jovians. Yeah. And that also, I think, has a follow-up building. Although maybe I don't have the follow-up building. Service industry. Yeah. And then I think the Ice 9 is the same. Pretty much everywhere here. I have a suspicion that this is affected with resource extraction, so we'll drop a resource extractor up here and see. Yeah. Yep. And we wait until those sort of build out. Or until I get the enabling text. I've also been waiting for the Astroformers. The Astroformers must take longer than I was thinking. Yeah, the Astroformers is still going. They'll be the next set of three things to finish. Okay, their culture power is a derivative of stability, so the stability is low for the bot. So we need that to be fixed. I suppose one thing I could do is let's drop into government spending. I'm trying to remember where that is. Here we go, policies. I can increase government spending for more faction support. Oh no, that's ruling faction and political. Was that welfare? Welfare is faction support. Oh, that cost $1 million to go to max. That's a little bit more than I want to spend. That's half the treasury. That's not too bad. Although that costs 4 stability, so I need to wait until the stability recovers. I guess I want to get back onto colonizing first. The follow-up, Major Reformer, requires energy 15. So, definitely want to continue to build up the energy sector then. Because we want to continue terraforming Mars, which is going to require getting all 3 of these. In particular, that means I'm going to need to get more genetic material, because I have zilch. Just a reminder, we are listening in the background to the Stellaris soundtrack. Just to have something in the background to listen to. Mars terraforming, atmospherics complete. Step done. The numerous constructions of astroformers have been able to produce enough carbon dioxide to replenish Mars' atmosphere and give it the necessary building blocks to sustain life on Mars. Wonderful. Headformer is next, but I need to get power up and about. Meantime, that means we now have the oxygen modifier instead of the limited atmosphere. Region population limit plus 10%. Project upkeep minus 2.5. So it's now cheaper to build up here. Nice. Oh, my power plant's already, the power plant thing's already done, so we're up to 10. We want to keep going. So that. Another level in power grid. And Castile. No, resource extraction is 8. I'll queue up the next level because it's not too far out. And then C. Once another U. E. Oh, I only have 1 level of mass production, so that's as far as I can go for the moment. On my consumer goods. Development equilibrium consumer goods. Oh, that's electronics. Oh no, that's manufacturing. So the manufacturing is capped out. The electronics I can still do more, is what's going on. Okay. And then we check up on... So you're not done. Oh, you're not done with the resource extractions. We don't know if that affects the next unit. You are done with the service industry, so do the next service industry. Providing extra resource income, which is nice. Okay. We are going to probably want to get the highest single location for service industry. We've also now got over 40 stability, so I'm going to willingly spend some stability to start colonizing again. So that is construction, development, expansion. And of course, everything's in range. This is an almost useless modifier. This is something in particular I'm looking for. That would be the opposite. I would want the ground stability to be good, and that's telling me where ground stability is bad. That's not what I want. O2, all the good O2 places are full. Curiosities aren't super useful because they're not a particularly strong buff. I do probably want Asteroid Belt F. Let's pick that up. Grab a survey there as well. Grab a 3 constructions. No petrol. No particularly good fuels. Probably just work best iron to worst iron going forward. Yeah, probably best iron to worst iron. Okay. And then I suppose I got 2 million kicking around. I should spend it on construction. Useful everywhere generic construction. First thing to do is space habitats for the extra habitability, so we get more tax income. Is that shift to build 5? Yeah. Okay. Space habitation everywhere. Infrastructure is tempting. And then I am willing to run a little bit negative. 2.5 million. Get more infrastructure out. Yeah, there we go. Let's let our income recover. Oh, I've got negative capacity in the space fleet for some reason. Oh, because I'm colonizing off on the planet that is not the Mars, because we're no longer bound to Mars for colonization anymore. Only 1% prestige. Okay, you've built, and you're going to want some stuff. I'm pretty sure we can't grab a second. Yeah. 1 asteroid place. We have it already, so we can't have another. Pretty big bonus is the steel refining here, so we might as well grab the steel refinery here. There's the steel. 35 sector level expected. Big place for steel. And then I need to grab the next colony location. Expansion. IS Steel. Jupiter Stable Orbit E. Also comes with some healing. Surveyed as well. More iron, more nuclear fuels, more heavy metals. And then we also go ahead and dump in infrastructure. And we get back to letting time pass. And I need more space fleet capacity, apparently. Oh, and diplomacy-wise... Can't integrate you, can't integrate you. Welcome to the country. Welcome to the country. Welcome to the country. I'm doing spying on Hawaii and the Lunar Red Army. Don't think we're there yet on either of them. No, 13 and 24. We need 25 to do 30 favors. So any place that is natively over 0, I can improve relations to the point where they can be asked to integrate. It'll take a while. It should be doable, though. Out of war's over, or what happened? Leader has passed. Okay. Oh, we apparently have an imminent crisis because some faction is really grumpy now that the leader's gone. Middle class. Okay, yeah, the middle class cannot be allowed to stay grumpy. So we institute tax breaks. Middle class is no longer grumpy anymore. Problem solved. Thinking about it, I should probably do a pass on bread and circuses. Turn it off on most places. Because all the old Martian places that needed it don't need it anymore, because they all accept culture and integrate it at this point. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the pork belly politics. I don't think I need the extra ruling faction power anymore. Instead, we're going to jump back in the excavation subsidies. Turn that on where that... Well, even if that doesn't make sense, because I'll go into more steel mills elsewhere. basically any place that stays over, like, 90% will run expansion taxes. And increase taxes as well. Looks like it's going to stay over 90% will run it. This is less beneficial than extraction subsidies, in the grand scheme of things. Okay. Should help a little bit more with revenue. Pause and see what that does to revenue generation. Not much. And we're almost out of our tech. I think my buildings have finished in the meantime, right? Yeah. So once again, improve power. Control, and that is getting more expensive each time we do that. Although power is powerful. Stability gain, so we want more stability gain. Oh, I suppose we did get the infrastructure in Castile going, and the space habitation. We've queued it up. We'll let it happen. So we'll come back. We'll come back to Castile here. And then we're looking at the asteroids. E can be improved mass production because we have enough power to improve it. Can be improved, and building space habitation, but that's fine. We can do something after that. And then we don't jump to Europa, do surveys industry, and did the mine have an effect on that? That's the question. Oh, we get money from the mine, or from the Ice Nine. I think that's being affected by the mine. Or is that affected by commerce? Oh no, that looks like that's affected by commerce instead of resource extraction. Looks like that only affects refining and agriculture. Okay. Difficulty, commerce, technology, culture, premier. Comes up to 24.8. And then Ice 9 provides money based on commerce. We do want the commerce to get bigger. The bigger that is, the more we get from specialty resources like Ice 9. Okay. And I now have Helium 3, which is energy sector level modifier. Ooh. Okay, so that's why the energy sector jumped up. Industrial capacity plus 30%. And that's coming from the new place, which is now done. Jupiter stable orbit E. Helium. And that is affected by extraction subsidies. Okay. So maybe the extraction subsidies would hit Jupiter, the Jovians as well, if I had the Jovians equipped with it. But the resource extraction doesn't affect it. Refining doesn't affect it. So we're probably going to want space habitation here, so more people can live there. And then I am definitely going to do steel refining. I might hold off on resource extraction. And I don't think I have anything to improve helium sector. shame. Let time pass again. Let's burn down the debt that I just accumulated. In the meantime, it's definitely boost revenue. Maybe not as much as we came about from burning down the debt or creating the debt. But war exhaustion is getting a bit grumpy. They're willing to negotiate my peace. They're willing to give it. Yeah, I want you to leave the India sphere. That gets us out of the war, gets our war exhaustion coming down. Okay. Resolve the war. Greatness colony. Welcome to the Martian Social Republic. And that's pissed someone off. That's pissed off one of the factions a little bit. Do I have to do some tax cuts? Oh, no, I just got a new region with high unrest. Which is coming down. Rapidly coming down. That's fine. Oh, and that region. Get that region some space habitation. Okay, yeah, it's falling rapidly. Population's growing millions a year, so we may be approaching 1 billion people soon. Oh, and I have no colonies going. I should get another colony going. Expansion. Again, if we're going based off of place with the most iron, it's Jupiter stable orbit D is next. Oh, that's the sort by deposit size. Never mind, it's palace. Oh, I suppose the sort here is either name or by size. Okay. Palace is actually nice. Never mind. So, send colonists. Survey. Puts more steel in the steel deposit. Nice. Build infrastructure. Okay, revenue positive, but I'm going to wait until Palace finishes, then we'll do another pass on all the places we've been upgrading. There we go. Palace is done. I'd like the very first thing for Palace to do is build a steel refinery into some space habitation. And then I need another colonist, or another colony. So, Barracon region. Send colonists. Send a survey. Exotic refining. Interesting. This is an IO, we got exotic refining, and then we build up infrastructure. And then we'll run around doing the things that are going to cause debt, which is Ballad of Zion, improve the power grid. Almost 2 million in debt just from that. Okay. Control F. Castile is actually maxed out for the moment until we get the next resource extraction. Would like more farming, because more pop growth is more pop growth, but for what we got, that's what we got. Next, Astro E. Improve mass production. To improve the manufacturing for more development. Astro Belt C. Improve the digital assembly for more electronics. That's mostly advantage from units, so that's less important, but I don't do it. It's my asteroid harvester. Then Phobos again is maxed out. We actually apparently can get better mining than Phobos in the asteroid belts. Some of the places like the asteroid belt were higher. 26, for example, is higher. You know, with that being the thought process, let's get a steel refinery going there. I'm thinking that's better than Phobos. I'll just splurge and we'll get the resource extraction going as well. And then next is Europa. And I've maxed out the service industry for the moment. Okay. As far as I can take it. Another one we'd like bigger, but if that's the size we're getting to, that's the size we're getting to. Where are we as far as tech trees going? We're not moving very fast in tech tree last I checked. Yeah, we're on a culture one, which is why it's not moving very fast. And right now, instead of invading people, we got low stability, so I don't really have stability to spend in integrating territory. It's much cheaper to just take over empty territory and fill it with good old Martian colonists. There we go, we maxed you out. I don't think we have any buildings yet for exotic refining. So, for the moment, it is space habitation in steel refining. The Lunar Red Army is calling us to their aid in the Lunar Communist Austro-American War. This is what I get for calling them to United Revolutionary Front, I suppose. Bulgaria joins. United... Why do the United Colonies like me so much? Because the United Colony likes me so much. Do I want to say yes in this situation? I'm actually going to say no. Yes, we're gonna really confuse people. It's like, yeah, we're calling the capitalists into the United Revolutionary Front. Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see here. Okay, my colony is done. Pick the next colony spot. Which is that location. Spend colonist survey. Build infrastructure. At some point we'll have better infrastructure tech, but that's what we got for the moment. I have 5 favors. I only need to get these guys to 45 at the moment. And they're in. European Economic Zone, Beijing Government, United Colonies. This place is going to colonize pretty quickly. There we go. And again, we're just going to do space habitation into steel refining. And I think it's time to do another pass on our places. So Ballad of Zion, these get us even more power. Improve the power grid. Energy is up to 16. So that's good stability gain. I don't think there was anything more to do on Castile. So we can skip over Castile. Asteroid E is capped out with mass production. C is able to still keep going. Oh, because the cap on some of these is based on the things like refining and stuff. So Asteroid E, I think, to be improved again, I need more energy, probably. I think I need, like, energy 20. This can be improved, because it probably needs refining 25. We got refining 25, so that can go up. And you're capped out. Oh, because you're based off of Ice 9. So I've only got 3 Ice 9. I don't know how to expand Ice 9 extraction. In the meantime, we're at stability 44. Changing one of my policies is going to reduce stability, but that's one of the reasons we've been saving up. That's not that page. That page. We're going to come in here, and I'm going to institute basic welfare for the faction loyalty bonus across the board. Yeah, that's going to cost money, but the flip side is I think then I can translate that money into more tax revenue. So I'm spending tax revenue to allow me to raise taxes to collect more taxes. So in the short term, I think that is still net negative, although that's going to be raising the opinion of the groups that don't like me more than the groups that like me, because we're basically redistributing wealth from those who like me to those who do not. Almost to the point where we have the separatists being happy enough. What am I looking for? What am I thinking about? That's a different question. Ooh. I'm being told if I can get enough astroformers on Venus, and I probably can't. We can do what we did to Mars to Venus as well. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Saving up for 10. We're at 9. We should be there in 2 years. Oh, and the new colony is already done. Or did I not queue another one up? Well, there's another one queued up. But yeah, we're waiting for time to pass. The economy's growing, prestige is growing, the diplomatic sphere is growing. Oh, United Colony has dropped. Still think we can bring them around. Beijing governors calling us in their Tibetan-Chinese war. Okay. I'd rather not be in this war, but if I am, I am. Tibet's almost bigger than Beijing. Okay. I suppose I can export more you. The price is pretty collapsed, probably, but more money is more money. Okay, you're done. Same sort of thing as before. I want steel refinery into space habitat into set up the next colony. Jupiter stable orbit is next. We colonize pretty fast. It's over 5% per month. There we go. Once again, this is a place where we're going to do steel refinery, space habitats. This is also a space station, so it's got a really cheap spaceport cost. So let's put a spaceport up here. While I'm thinking about it. Next locale. Workforce, survey, expand, expand, expand. And then we'll revisit places like the Battle of Zion. We want more power. That may be the last power I can do, because refining is only 47 at the moment. Sadly. Then... let's say Ascension. It's growing, that's nice to see. Mass growth rate really is capped. C can go up another one. That's based off of refining, so I can get leveled up. That's capped out until I figure out how to improve Ice 9 production. And we haven't researched nanocomposites yet. Nanocomposites is like the next thing after we finish interplanetary culture here. Just interplanetary culture is taking some time. It's taking some time. Risen to 4th on the back of our economy, which probably means I could run a much larger army if I wanted to. Meantime, here, and we still got decent iron here. Antimatter collector is pretty big here. This is also a space station. So once again, we're going to do steel space habitation into spaceport. Set up a new colony. Not yet at the point where we're going to negotiate with any of those guys. Well, integrate any of those guys. Beijing's too big. They're regional powers, they're too big. Economic Union is a great power. They're in fact, one of the few people that are actually bigger than us. Although that's entirely due to military. Inspection, development, expansion. Jupiter, stable, orbit B. Increase workforce, survey. Expand infrastructure, expand infrastructure, expand that infrastructure. Then on pause. So I now have my 10, so I can... let's see what we can get as an alternative to these. Faction loyalty is tempting, but I want to see what the alternatives are. Especially for the alternative here on utopianism. So we got moralism, self-discipline, unity, monument project efficiency. We do have a monument that would be affected by that, although we only have one. Admin efficiency. Prosperism. Factory project efficiency. Tax base. Immigration pull. Middle class faction loyalty. Tempting the middle class faction loyalty. Region population limit. Project build cost. It's an option. While I've got that up, can I see how my factions are happy? Yeah. Okay, so aristocrats are one where they're not far off. And we've got the resource tax max at this point, so I could actually decrease it enough that they would no longer be grumpy. That's with the alignment to Marxism. Separatists are always grumpy. Even when they're happy, they're grumpy. Intellectualism, university, education, research cost, intellectual elite. Faction loyalty for the corporate. Education efficiency, leader quality, bureaucracy. Probably don't want fundamentalism. Opens up with resource miles. Oh, that's got a unity modifier on it. We don't want that. Project speed. Gotta remember there's also openers and finishers on these as well. Transformation. More colonial range. I think that's a no-go. As much as 3 colonial range is interesting, we're at the point where that's actually not very big anymore. Totalism. Maximum income tax. If that was a resource tax, that'd be more interesting. Ultimate collectivism. Assimilation. If stacked enough, that would be interesting, but it would be hard, I think, to stack enough. Statism. We don't want to make the aristocrats more powerful, unless we've got the aristocrats being happier. This I do not think does it. Well, it's got 5%, but that alone would not be enough. Communalism. Makes the rural faction more powerful. Unity at the cost of assimilation. Traditionalism. Monument product efficiency. Again, we have a monument that would be effective. Oh, it's one monument. It's going to be a minority of our stuff very rapidly. Faction loyal for the aristocrats. Makes them more powerful. Yeah, I don't think traditionalism is the way we want to go. Stoicism. That's mostly military defense sort of stuff. Nuclear family. Population growth, admin efficiency. Ruling faction, political power. Tax base, 10% more admin efficiency, more pop growth, more unity, more project build cost reduction. That's mostly probably going to be military here with firearm efficiency. Yeah. Consumer culture. Unity down is the opener, so we'd really be wanting the whole thing if we're going in here, because we're going to be paying a cost right at the beginning. 10% resource income, I suppose, is tempting. Education efficiency. Maximum income tax. It's loyalty for rural and middle class, so that allowed me to run the income tax higher. Pacifism. I'm already kind of struggling with war exhaustion because it just pops up because I have friends that keep calling me to wars. Take a prestige. Nah, we're going to pass on that one, definitely. Simulationist. Middle class corporate. Simulation. Migration pull. Rootable. Corporate power. If I wasn't running full, like, open borders, this is probably the way to go. Faction loyalty plus faction. Oh, that's power, not. Okay, so it's just generic 2.5%. Insular simulation for tax base. Resource capacity. I don't really want the prestige down, so we're gonna pass on that. We're trying to win the game when we need prestige for that. Prideful. It's my skill. Integration cost. No. This is, I want to take you over and not, I want to diplomat next to you. This is Robophile. Robot assembly plants. Might be something we start building a lot of vaguely soon. Eugenicist is probably the genetic version of that. Middle class things. Or middle class is empowered by that assimilation. You're a dentalist. Or colony speed. and reduce integration costs. If we're going to war, that would have been good. Population growth. This is isolationists. We're not exactly isolationists. Mandate of Heaven. Social contract. Polygamist. Diligent. Monumentalist has also got the project count cost reduction. There isn't anything in here to stop me. I'm tempted to go down here for the project count so we can have more projects going. We're going relatively wide, so I'm less needing of that, but also I'm reaching the point where it's hard to specialize individual provinces, and I just kind of want to spam things everywhere. Corporate faction power base, which if they're reasonably happy isn't a problem. Yeah, project cost minus 10%. 10%, and we got the count cost reduction. It's build speed. There's efficiency. Thinking I'm leaning towards monumentalist. Not aristocrat, although. We were going that way. Plutocratic. Innovative. Military, astronautical, Air Force. So this is more the military stuff. Industrialist, build cost, factory efficiency, project upkeep, project speed. Workforce ratio would actually be about 3% more income tax. Thrifty, 10% more income from resources. Sector level, modifier, okay. Faction, generic faction loyalty, okay. Diplomatic capacity. This also has Empire modifier opinion. 2 different places. This is plus 15 opinion, so if I was trying to diplomatically integrate more people, this would be tempting. And in fact, that is tempting for that reason. Again, I think I'm going to do the monumentalist. I might come back to diplomatic on, because we've only got 20 years until the next era. In the next era, we'll get another slot. We'll do diplomatic in the next slot. So we'll run up this, and when we're done with this, we'll probably be looking for the next slot to fill. We're becoming more stable. Although I probably still want to be more stable than this, to be fair. Once we're over like 60, I might start thinking about trying to pick up... yeah, once we're over 60, I'll start trying to pick up more privileges, I think. Once again, steel refinery, space habitation. We are on a space station location, so we'll do a spaceport. Oh, and I now have the tech, or I have the power requirement for hydroformers. So let's find 2 Martian locations. Stick down hydroformers. Probably the ones that we have our oxygen would be comparable. They were over here. I thought they were over here. I thought they were like right next to each other. There's one of the other ones. There's the third one. Bioformer is going to require me getting a genetic material. I suppose I better do genetic material at some point. So I'll have to do genetic engineering, which is a dangerous tech. Because yeah, I could do pharmaceuticals and do population harvesting from pharmaceuticals here for it. But I think we're better off with genetic materials factory, those guys right there, and just spamming that hard to finish the terraforming of Mars. It's the buff to genetic materials factory. Not sure if I'm super interested in those products. Gray goo we should probably stay away from. Dangerous tech, stability gain, get gray goo utilization. Human genetic engineering. Living metals. Costly. Benefit of something else. Population with time is nice. Yeah, so we really only probably want to go down as far as biotech down there. That's right. So as we'll put these in the queue. So do want to research you, which means we want to go into sequencing into biotech for the extra development. Although we have that all the way down the end of the queue. That's 13 techs down the line. Looking at the time, once more, it is time for a part break. We will be back if you're watching on YouTube tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This is going to be the mid-stream tea break where I go make some tea. I think things are, of course, going to continue in the game. Thinking about some techniques. So there's resource extraction, there's more resource extraction, infrastructure, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff we can do to improve stuff. And we're going to be picking up over some levels coming up, as well as fusion, cold fusion, antimatter reactors and stuff. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, this is tea break time. I will be back soon with the tea experience. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part under our stream, and bye for now.